For the first time in 30 years of playing Doom that I'm aware of, we're finally uncovering the horrifying origins and the voice of the Archvile, as well as what he would sound like today. It's going to blow your mind. I'm so excited to show this video to you today. Now, to understand the Archvile's horror, we have to understand where he comes from. The Archvile was created by developer Sandy Peterson. I spoke with him and you'll see this here in just a moment. Arch means king or ruler, and vile means disgusting or terrible. So he is quite literally an evil, terrible ruler. Now, he actually came from a couple different sci-fi books, and we'll let Sandy tell you that part. And then we're going to talk about the horrible sound of the Archvile and the little girl and the soul he consumed.
My name's Archvile, and it actually came from two sources. One was a Jack Vance story, which had evil creatures called Archvolts, and the other was from a Steve O'Donnellson book, which had creatures called Urviles. So I kind of put them together and had Archviles.
So now that we know that this is a terrible sci-fi leader, Bobby Prince, the music man behind Doom, has a very strange origin story for the Archvile. Bobby said, "The Archvile is an evil healer. Anyone getting in his way is blasted with fire and disintegrated. This includes other demons. But after he has wrought his destruction, he then goes around and reanimates all of the demons. Because of this interesting dual personality, I decided to give him a very evil laugh as an active sound. For his death sound, I recorded a young girl saying, 'Why?' Pitch shifted it down and mixed it with other sounds. The Archvile just doesn't understand why anyone would want to kill him, as he sees himself as only doing good for his fellow demon." So we have a very interesting twist here. The king of disgusting demons that comes from a science fiction background that resurrects them feels bad and sees himself as only doing good for his fellow friends, and he's upset that you're killing him. Oh, how come he also sounds like a little girl with an evil laughter when he dies? Did he consume her soul or something? Well, we have some sound evidence that I have gone in and tweaked at, and I've got an answer for you. This is amazing. So we have two things we need to debunk here. First, the laugh, and then the why, to see what's really under the surface. So plenty of you have heard this sound. That's the alert sound from the Archvile. I'll play it one more time. Does that sound like a laugh? It sounds like an alien, like wah to me, like Mario wah or whatever. Well, I found out that with this file, if we take it and we adjust the pitch by -75, so we're making it lower, we get this sound. Listen to that again. Sounds more like a laugh, but I'm not satisfied yet. So then I put this file into vocalremover.org, which isolates the tracks as best it can, and so we have what I've labeled isolated noise and evil laugh. So let's play them both together. Okay, that's our file. Just the isolated noise. You can barely hear anything. So let's take it just the evil laugh. I'm convinced the Archvile does have an evil laugh when you slow it by 75%, I've found. But what about the little girl why? That sounds ridiculous, right? A sound that we're all familiar with? This is the dying sound of the Archvile. Listen to it one more time. It sounds like a or whatever kind of funny sound. Take that out of context. So when I was experimenting with this file, I found that if you change the pitch, this is so cool, you gotta get ready for this, to 125% change, here's what we get. Okay, that sounds really weird and unintelligible. Listen again to see if you can hear the why. So Bobby originally said that he added in extra sounds into the mix. They did that with the Mancubus too. There was like a pig sound and then others. So let's go back to Vocal Remover. So I plug the file into the isolator here, and we have Sound and Sweet Little Dead Girl is what I've named it. So this is so clear, so much more than the last one was. Listen to the original file here, plugged in. Okay, like Bobby was saying, there's extra sound. So let's just do the isolated sound. Pay close attention. That sounds like a typical sci-fi sound. It would fit the Archvile's origins. One more time so you can hear it well. So let's take that sound, the actual sound effect Bobby put in, and only leave the Sweet Little Dead Girl sound. Are you ready? You can definitely hear it. At the beginning, it still has that unearth-like rah sound, but at the end, you hear the why. Listen very closely. So does this mean the Archvile is consuming the souls of children that exit his body in an exorcism style when he says why and when he dies because he thinks he's a good guy and he's not really a good guy? that rhyme, but this is very disturbing. But the really interesting part is, this is 1994. What would he sound like today in a modern game? Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore as much because, well, myself and some others made the Ancient Gods Part 3 interactive YouTube game, and we wrote in the Archpriest, an Archvile, as the main enemy. And I went in, I did a casting call to see who would play his voice, and we found Sir Aramis. I'm going to show you the trailer for the Ancient Gods 3 where it debuts the Archpriest's voice. This is what an Archvile would sound like in a modern Doom game, and it's absolutely terrifying. So if you're not a fan of heavy metal, you're going to get your world rocked, and if you are a fan of heavy metal, you're going to love it. So let's roll that clip.
I know who you are, but you know not of me. I am the Burning Healer, Summoner of the Dread Legion, personal servant of Davoth. I am the Archpriest, your doom. All this for a human and some worthless pet. You will not survive this.
So we know how the Archvile looks, sounds, and behaves, so we can take all of these to form the full picture of who he truly is and what he could be. Now we look deeper into the twisted history to find he originally had another name. Doom co-creator John Romero, who is able to recall events down to the letter due to hyperthymesia or photographic memory, said that during development, the Archvile was called the Medic. He resurrected dead demons, so he was a doctor of sorts. There's also a Fire Eater in the Doom novels, but that's a bit out of the direct canon here. Now we see the early models of this Archvile now. The intent looks that it wasn't to make him a destructive powerhouse brute like the Cyber Demon, but his wiry frame and gigantic brain lends to being more of an insane mage, which fits with his evil, hellish fire powers. He used his brains, not brawn, concocting evil plans. He wanted to keep the armies alive to continue the onslaught. But, as of the Grinch, does the Archvile have a heart? If he feels bad because he sees himself as doing good. Now we know the Archvile of today is as menacing as ever. If we brought him straight from 1994, I think that the higher rasp and the snarls would be ever present in his mannerisms. It's a bit ironic that this evil medic who only wants to heal blazes paths of literal fire and destruction. This same evil medic, who only wants to do right by his fellow demons, who speaks in the words of a little girl, has quite a twisted history and potential speculation and future. The Archvile was once a man of mystery, but not so much anymore now that we've cracked his code with his horrifying origins and the hidden voice of the Archvile. Click the video on your screen to play the Ancient Gods 3 on YouTube interactive game, and I will see you in the Discord. Later.